All right, buckle up, everyone, because today we're doing a deep dive into all the buzz around Superman Legacy. We're really going to try and pull apart what the trailer, what the early reactions are telling us about this, fresh take on such an iconic hero.
Yeah.
We've got some really fascinating bits and pieces from our sources, social media insights, even a look at how it's landing globally.
It's quite a mix.
Right.
Yeah.
So our mission basically is to figure out what makes this new version feel, well, familiar, but also kind of innovative. Let's unpack it.
It's always a huge challenge, isn't it? Reintroducing a character like Superman who everyone feels they know.
Definitely.
And what's really compelling here, I think, is how the creators seem to be balancing those core things we expect, but also making some, frankly, surprising choices. So we'll zero in on those details that are grabbing people, and importantly, what these choices might mean for the film's direction.
Okay, so diving straight in then. What really jumps out, I think, from the sources is this blend of just massive action and real emotion. The material mentions these. The material, take it to, I'm taking the confident. Basically, huge action scenes. We're talking visuals, like an epic fortress of solitude.
Like the classic set.
Yeah, and this really visceral killing kind of, that's like a teeth punch sequence. Sounds intense.
Yeah.
And even a castle, like, falling.
Yeah.
But what I think is really interesting is the trailer's theme statement. Your decisions, your actions.
And if you connect that dot, that emphasis on huge action, but pairing it so directly with personal responsibility,
Yeah.
it suggests a Superman who isn't just, punching things really hard, but someone who's maybe thoughtful, maybe even a bit burdened by his choices.
That makes sense.
Our sources also have Lois Lane highlighting his true strength and sensitivity, which lines up perfectly with that theme, doesn't it?
It really does.
And what's fascinating, too, is how the social media buzz describes a light-hearted tone despite all the action.
So a balance.
Kind of a unique balance, yeah. Maybe a hero who can still find some lightness even when things are, monumentally serious.
It sounds like he might grapple with things in a very human way. But, a hero is often defined by their villain, right?
Always.
And the sources suggest Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor is, well, something else. The description is pretty vivid.
Yeah.
His face showing Congo thing a thee.
So envy, audacity, and coldness.
Exactly. Envy, audacity, and this chilling coldness. It's quite a picture.
That immediately makes you ask, okay, what kind of Lex is this going to be?
Right.
Because the quote they attribute to him, they chose him, let them die. I mean, that's pure, classic, ruthless comic book Lex.
Absolutely chilling.
It just perfectly sets up this formidable antagonist who sees Superman not just as an obstacle, but almost as a personal insult. It suggests a really deep, almost vengeful kind of villainy.
Yeah, like it's personal for him.
Exactly.
Okay, and then maybe one of the most unexpected things we found in the sources is about the language itself.
Oh.
Specifically in the Hindi trailer.
Oh, yeah. What about?
Apparently, it uses an NDDP, which our sources translate as sort of street smart, maybe slightly cheeky slang.
Interesting. Like what?
Well, they give an example like Ananti, which is apparently a really casual, almost intimate nickname, not something you typically hear for Superman, Nilu. Okay.
It gives the dubbing this authentic Desi touch, and the feedback suggests audiences are really responding to it, like loving it because it feels natural and specific.
That's actually quite remarkable, that kind of attention to localized dialogue.
It seems so.
It shows a really deep understanding of how to engage a global audience properly. It's not just translating words, it's adapting the feel.
Yeah, the cultural nuance.
Precisely. And the social media reactions seem to back this up, too. People are praising specific visuals, like that spinning heat vision shot.
Oh, I saw mentions of that. Yeah, something new that, as one Redditor apparently put it, goes hard, meaning it's just really impressive.
Nice.
Now, some sources did mention, minor quibbles, like maybe the CGI on that teeth punch wasn't perfect for everyone.
Always happens.
But the overall vibe seems overwhelmingly positive. It looks like this localization strategy is really working.
So wrapping this up then, what does it all mean for you listening in? It really seems like Superman Legacy is aiming for something multifaceted.
Definitely.
You've got massive action, but it's grounded by this emotional depth. You have a truly chilling personal take on Lex Luthor. And this surprisingly effective localization that's hitting home with global audiences.
Yeah, this deep dive really paints a picture of a project that isn't afraid to innovate, to evolve the character, while still, clearly respecting its roots.
The balancing act.
Exactly. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Beyond the spectacle, how will these specific choices in character, in language, and tone, how will they reshape Superman for a new generation? And maybe even how might this influence other big blockbusters trying to connect globally? Lots to think about there.